pleased to be joined by our good friend, political analyst Dick Morris, co-author of the new book, Power Grab, Obama's Dangerous Plan for a One-Party Nation. Dick co-authored that book with his bride, Eileen McGann. And Dick, I understand you remain #1 on Amazon under the category of political books. Congratulations to you, sir.
That's great. You know, on Amazon you compete with cookbooks, and I never do well against them, but political books, I'm #1.
Well, the recipes that you set forth that our president is trying to fulfill politically, you call them dangerous. Now, I'm very curious. You have pointed out in previous conversations that there have been periods of history where one party has achieved dominance over another. What makes Mr. Obama's, quote, power grab so insidious this time around in history?
Well, you don't really have to be an archaeologist to go back in history. Just look at California, which reliably now votes Democrat. The Republican Party almost doesn't exist. New York State's another good example of that. All over the country, we have a variety of states that are one-party states, some Republican, but most of them Democrat. The difference between what Obama's doing and what's happened in the past is he's stacking the deck by a combination of immigration, which changes the demographics of the country, voter fraud, and the Justice Department doing nothing to stop it and killing photo ID that would stop it, and economic policies that stimulate entitlement and retard employment. So more and more people are dependent on the government. When Obama took office, 75 million Americans got welfare, meaning Medicaid, food stamps, regular welfare, housing subsidies. Now over 105 million Americans do. And that's 30 million Obama voters, and that's his hope. You have to see Obamacare not as having anything to do with health care. His goal here is to take the middle class and put it on welfare by making it come to the government for its insurance and requiring it to buy so extensive and expensive a policy that they need a subsidy to be able to do it.
Dick, amidst your litany of the here and now examples of what's going on, you mentioned voter fraud, and there's a story out of Wisconsin in the Daily Badger Herald that the Mexican consulate is sending a mobile unit to register voters in Wisconsin for the upcoming American midterms. Is this the most blatant example of this effort toward voter fraud?
Yeah, well, at least hopefully they're people who are citizens. What I'm worried about is that you have a massive amount of double voting in this country. Massive. In North Carolina, 35,000 people who voted in that state had the same first name, the same last name, and the same date of birth as someone in another state who voted. And actually only half of the states participated in that study. If all of them did, you'd probably be around 70,000. That's enough to tip North Carolina in the election. So this strategy of bringing in immigrants en masse, telling the states you can't purge your voter rolls for 4 years. If somebody doesn't vote or doesn't reply to the postcards, can't take them off for 4 years. It means that there are 3 or 4 million dead people on the voter rolls and 20 or more million people who've moved. And that, coupled with the absence of photo ID and this massive illegal immigrant population, enables this kind of voter fraud. And Obama's ultimate goal, that I go through in the book, is to replace the Electoral College with the popular vote, because he can steal the popular vote. And he's getting states to say that their electors will not vote for whoever carries their state, but whoever wins the national popular vote. And when he reaches a majority of the Electoral College, he will have taken it over and replaced it.
Dick, we're about to be overtaken by the clock. We're going to invite you to come back following the break. In the meantime, want to make sure those watching know where they can get a copy of your new book. Here's the place you need to go on the internet, powergrab411.com. We're coming right back.